the big news from today is the Patriots named Mac Jones as QB1 and subsequently released Cam Newton.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
Yeah, so we also talked about this a little bit before the pod. So Mac Jones has PFF's number one graded rookie quarterback, or was the number one graded rookie quarterback through the preseason. I obviously PFF does a lot of great stuff with analytics. Their stats don't always line up with what you see from the eye test necessarily.
Right.
There's definitely things to argue, but I can't fault them based on their analytics. It is pure analytics, stat-driven stuff. So they say Mac Jones had the best preseason of one of the rookie quarterbacks. I kind of feel like it's Justin Fields for me, but Mac Jones, he did good. He did very well. He was that kind of Patriots, Tom Brady era-esque type quarterback for them, which is what Belichick likes. And then on top of that, you have issues with COVID-19 and Cam being, on the reserve list and blah, blah, blah. Cam never seemed like a true fit for the Belichick-style offense, even though he's a veteran. You can get a lot more out of him. My feeling is that I didn't know if they're I thought they were going to stick with Cam, but they probably went to Cam and said, hey, we're going to start Mac. Is this going to be a problem for you? He probably said, yeah, I think it'll be
Cam's
a problem for me. So
backup.
they went ahead and released Cam so that way he doesn't create a media issue or a locker room issue for them. It allows him to go move on with his career. There's going to be he's got to get picked up by somebody, I would think.
Houston.
That it makes sense. That makes sense. I haven't even had the time to process who would be a good fit for him, but Houston makes sense. It's just
because you're gonna have Tyrod.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyrod and Cam are going to be very similar, and the things that they can do athletically, different throwing style. Tyrod is very much a dink and dunk guy. Cam can stretch the field for you, and Deshaun Watson may or may not be leaving. We're going to get to that later in the show, I believe, right? Just a little bit, or did we add that or no?
Well, I didn't put any of that stuff in there. There's more talk with Deshaun, and we can just quick bring it up now.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Deshaun has said he's come out and said, I'm not waiving my no trade clause to go to the Eagles. Doesn't really matter because the Eagles actually made a trade. We will talk about that.
Yes.
But also there's been more reports of, Miami's a good fit for him. And then Miami's come out and said, we have no interest, or I think it was Houston came out and said, we have no interest in trading for Tua, which is interesting because that would be usually part of the return package for it. Yeah. But Houston has also said we're not going to move Deshaun unless we get what we want out of a trade, which is 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks.
Which is astronomically high. It's way too much. Even if there are no legal issues going on with Deshaun, that's still too fucking high.
That's tough for me to agree to a trade if we're talking about prime Peyton Manning and stuff like that. That's a lot. It's rough. Like you have to talk about
that is your entire organization's future.
Yeah, you have to talk about some of the best possible all-time quarterbacks to even get in that conversation, and Deshaun isn't that. He's a very, very good quarterback when he's not skeeting in masseuse hands and stuff like that. He's
not all-time.
Good,
that's what you would ask for from an all-time quarterback.
Yeah, and
even then you're going to struggle. But this is the Houston Texans trying to recoup all the fucking draft picks that Bill O'Brien pissed away doing his shit trades that never should have happened. Gets rid of the best receiver in football, doesn't get a number 1 pick. Trades multiple number 1 picks, gets a left tackle who likes fucking hitting the gas mask, which I got no problem with him hitting the gas mask. But
he's worked out for him.
Oh, that's also another reason why I have Alabama not covering the 18.5. You know who their fucking offensive coordinator is? Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
So, just another reason I'm hammering home Alabama not covering 18.5. But this is fucking way too much. He's not getting traded. What's going to happen is he's probably going to sit the year on the commissioner's exempt list until all of this shit gets adjudicated in court. Or whatever the fuck happens. He's either going to be arrested and sentenced or going to settle it civilly, or it's all going to go away. None of this actually happened.
He still will end up getting hit by the NFL on their player conduct policy. He's going to have a suspension of some sort.
Yes.
That's going to happen. And until that actually happens, a team cannot truly assess his trade value. and try to put together an offer for
I
him.
wouldn't give up anything for him right now because you have no idea if he's playing.
I mean, I would give up
Seventh.
late round picks.
Yeah, I guess I'd give him a 7th. But
Flyers that
you're not getting fucking 3 1s and 2 2s for Deshaun. Not happening.
No. But yeah, so back to Mac Jones and Cam Newton. I can see Cam going to the Texans.
Yeah.
Another possibility, I guess, of a team that is having severe quarterback and injury issues is the Colts.
That actually, I did not think about that. That seems like a very fucking logical thing.
I don't know if he's a good fit, but I just know that he's a starting quarterback, which they don't have currently.
No, they don't have one.
So-
But Carson Wentz is now at this point becoming, to me, like a fringe starter. He is so often hurt. There are so many things that fucking happen around Carson Wentz. He's on the COVID list now. Sam Ehlinger is hurt, and so your starter is Jacob Eason. Who the fuck is Jacob Eason's backup?
I don't know.
I don't think they have one. So Cam to the Colts makes a fucking lot of sense.
Yeah. So the Colts woes is definitely something that we were going to talk about. So Wentz was apparently on track to potentially be back for week 1. I didn't really see it. I think they're trying to rush him back just because they have all these. They have
There's
deep
incentives
playoff run.
to play him.
They've got deep playoff run aspirations too,
Yeah.
and he's your best bet if he's healthy. But rushing him back from that foot injury is not a smart thing. Now he's on the COVID list along with their center and receiver. One of their receivers. You've got T.Y. Hilton going to miss the start of the season due to injury. Another receiver goes down. Then your backup quarterback, who is actually looking okay. He was looking like a backup quarterback as a rookie, out 5 to 6 weeks with a knee injury.
Yep.
So you have Jake Eason as your projected week 1 starter.
Missing a weapon in Zach Pascal. Missing your starting center with Kelly. I think that's his name.
Yep.
No Carson Wentz. No T.Y. Hilton. So your only fucking weapon is Michael Pittman Jr. and then a Paris Campbell who has not been able to stay healthy since he's come out of Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. You got Naheem Hines out of the backfield and Taylor out of the backfield.
So they're going to have to run and play good defense.
Yeah. Which, that's the Colts are just hitting the injury bug hardcore. They've got some issues. So
they're in roster hell right now.
If you could bring in a Cam Newton, I don't know if he jives or meshes with the team at all, but he's something.
But give me Cam over Jacob Eason.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, come on. That's a fucking no-brainer. Yeah, drink, bitches. But I think they're going to try to get Carson back. Now, he's only going to have a couple days before the start of the season, depending on what happens with this COVID thing, because it could be 5 days, could be 10.
Yeah.
But he's not going to have a ton of time to practice. But like I said, there are incentives to play him. Now, I understand if he plays too many snaps, you're giving up a first-round pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
But right now, the Eagles are on the hook for a good portion of his contract. So if you play him and you see that Carson is not Carson Wentz of old, you see he's the new Carson Wentz who's fucking hurt and can't play, that is the quicker you find out he's not our guy. We play a Sam Ehlinger. We play a Jacob Eason. We figure out what these guys have so you actually can evaluate them. And then going in next year, we are fucking going looking for a quarterback.
Yeah. I've been more bullish on them not having a good quarterback from the beginning.
Yeah.
I've not been sold on Wentz for a long time. It's not even just the injuries. Like, when he's played well, he's put up good stats and he's looked okay, but that's been so few and far between. We've seen the flash in the pan quarterbacks where
he's had a lot of help being bailed out. Alshon Jeffrey was a fucking stud.
Yeah, I've never been that high on Wentz, and if I'm the GM, I wouldn't have made that trade in the first place, I suppose. But I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to look for other options.